Triratna Saranam, Namo Amitabhaya, Namo Bhagavate Arate Samyak Sambuddhaya. Pyapulla, Tashidele, Chaksallo, Taremam. पहिला शून्यता भनेकै के हो त्यो बुझ्नु पर्यो तब मात्रै यो हो कि होइन भन्ने थाहा हुन सक्छ.
First of all, we need to understand what shunyata or emptiness itself means. Only then can we discern if what this question is asking is true or not. Now, the word shunyata of Buddhism has been found to be interpreted in two ways in the Hindu traditions. The first one is the definition from Shankaracharya and others like him, who defined shunyata as empty, hollow, devoid of anything. Madhavacharya has also similarly stated that the Buddhists say that samsara, or world, arose from an empty, hollow, devoid of anything shunyata. He writes in his Sarva Darshan Sangraha,
Shunyasya mene jagat.
Shunyasa mene jagat, meaning that the world arose out of shunya, or nothing. The second definition was given some time later in texts like Yog Vasishtha, which states that Shunya and Brahma are the same, and Vivekananda and others adopted this view. Although Vivekananda was a follower of Shankaracharya, it appears from his description of Shunya that he did not understand Shankaracharya's explanation of it, because Shankaracharya defined Shunya to be empty, devoid, useless, without any purpose, pointless. And he wrote in his Brahma Sutra Bhashya that even a fool would not be able to accept such a view. So, even though Shankaracharya said this, Swami Vivekananda, on the other hand, who claimed to be Shankaracharya's follower, as can be seen in his writings and discourses, said something different. And when we look at why this might be, we find that texts written in the 12th to 16th centuries, such as Yog Vasishtha, which is believed to be written in the 14th or 15th century, state that Shunyata is Brahma, that they are the same. But this was written 500 or 600 years after Shankaracharya, and it is apparent that Shankaracharya himself did not understand the meaning of Shunyata. During the time of Shankaracharya, Buddha Dharma was countered by portraying it as something inferior. However, by the time Yog Vasishtha was written, the Buddha Dharma had already weakened and collapsed and was on the verge of disappearing, so they did not need to oppose it as strongly as during the time of Shankaracharya. They simply said,
अनि एउटै हो बुद्धले सिका पनि यही हो वास्तवमा जस्तै पछिको राधाकृष्ण पनि त्यही भन्नुभयो अस्ति भर्खर हामीले कुरा गरे यो विषयमा
that the shunyata taught by the Buddha means the same thing as Brahma. For example, like Radhakrishnan, who also said the same thing at a later time, as we recently discussed. But if we really understand the meaning of shunyata, the root of the Vedic dharma and Hindu dharma will be cut off. Their view will be pulled out by the roots if we truly understand what shunyata means. First of all, in the first of the two meanings of pratitya samutpad, or the principle of interdependent origination, whatever exists in the entirety of samsara is pratitya samutpanna, or arisen interdependently. And here, samsara does not mean the Vedanta view of just the external phenomena out there, which excludes the knowing I, the Atma or Brahma over here. In Buddha Dharma, both of those are samsara. Both are dharma, or phenomena. And so all dharmas are pratitya samutpanna. And what is pratitya samutpanna? It means that everything arises based on various hetus, or causes, and pratyaya, or conditions, coming together. This is called pratitya samutpanna, and this itself is the meaning of shunyata. Pratitya samutpanna and shunyata are like two sides of the same palm. They are not two different things. Even though I'm saying two sides, they are not different things. It is still the same hand. To say shunyata is to say pratitya samutpanna, and to say pratitya samutpanna is to say shunyata. The second way to describe shunyata is without swabhava, or as niswabhava, which means without self-existence. Let us look at these two meanings. The first is that all dharma or phenomena are pratitya samutpanna, And what pratitya samutpanna means is made from causes and conditions coming together. Or rather, more than made from, actually appearing due to the coming together of various causes and conditions. The appearing. For example, a house. What is a house? A house appears when the pillars, foundation, ceiling, bricks, floor, etc. come together. However, there is no separate entity called house that exists there. Now, in this example of a house that we have used to understand pratitya samutpad, even this house will change over thousands of years. But we find it difficult to think that way because of the length of time of 1,000 years. But we see things around us even now that will change in just a few months or weeks or even days. What is happening here is that the causes and conditions keep changing.
यसलाई भन्छ हेतु प्रत्यय धारा प्रवाह या छोटोमा हेतु प्रवाह.
This is called hetu prataya dhara, or the flow of causes and conditions, or hetu pravaha, or flow of causes in short. So if we accept this view, then the view of Ishvara, or Creator God, will be dismantled. Because what are now the causes and conditions of something themselves appeared due to other causes and conditions, and again those previous causes and conditions too appeared from other causes and conditions coming together, and so on, going back to beginningless time. Thus there is no beginning, and it becomes meaningless to say that this was created by Ishvara in the beginning. This is why people who accept the view of causes and conditions do not believe in an Ishvara, or Creator God. After pratitya samutpad is understood, the concepts of Brahma, Atma, or Ishvara are all gone.
अब निस्वभावमा जाउँ. निस्वभाव. नि भनेको नभएको, स्वभाव. स्व भनेको आफ्नो, हैन, आफ्नो भाव. भाव भनेको अस्तित्व.
Now let us look at the second meaning at the term niswabhava. Ni means without, swa means own, and bhava means existence. Thus swabhava means to have its own existence, and niswabhava, on the other hand, means not having its own existence. This definition can also be related to the meaning of pratitya samutpanna that I gave earlier. To have swabhava means to be swatantra, or to be independent, not paratantra, that is dependent on others. Whereas pratitya samutpad signifies paratantra, that is dependence on others. When something is independent, it never changes, as it is independent of arising from causes and conditions. It would remain unchanging and permanent and eternal. However, shunya means that this entire samsar, or world, including its knower, appears from causes and conditions. This is the meaning of shunya. Now, it is clearly stated in Shankaracharya's Drikdrishya Vivek and his other texts, as well as in various Upanishads of Vedanta, that all of the world is an illusion because it is changing, but that the knower of this is permanent and eternal. The knower is called drashta, or watcher or seer, because it sees, gyata, or knower, because it knows, and sakshi, or witness, because it is a witness to everything happening. This sakshi is believed to be permanent, unchangeable, etc.
बुद्ध धर्ममा त्यो साक्षी पनि निस्वभाव हो. त्यो बाहिरको जगत पनि निस्वभाव हो.
But in Buddha Dharma, even that sakshi, or witness, is niswabhava. An outer phenomena is also niswabhava, that is not having its own independent existence. In order to obtain a profound understanding of shunyata and to experience it and to do vipassana accordingly, one has to learn and practice under a knowledgeable master from a guru parampara, or an authentic unbroken lineage. Merely reading texts will not suffice. Just reading Buddhist texts will not provide a proper understanding of what the view is and how it is used. The definitions of niswabhava and of Atma as given by Shankaracharya in his Tattva Bodh clash with each other. They do not agree with each other. In his text Tattvabodh, Shankaracharya states, Atma Tarika, meaning what is Atma or who is it, what is its nature, and he says,
सत चित आनन्द। त्यसमा सत भन्ने शब्द र शून्य भन्ने शब्द विरोधाभास हुन्छ।
it is Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. It is Sat Chit Ananda. Thus, the word Sat used here and the word Shunya are contradictory. Why is this so? Because in the same text, Shankaracharya himself has later defined what Sat means. He says,
कालत्रयापि तिष्ठति, तीनटै कालमा एक नाश नबदलिकन रहने।
Kalatraya api tishtatiti. That is, which remains the same in all three times, in the past, present, and future, is Sat. Thus, it is that which remains unchanging and permanent. There are two types of Nitya or permanence, and Buddha Dharma also accepts one type of permanence, which is Parinami Nitya, or that which is continually changing, but which never ends and also never had a beginning. This samsara or world is Parinami Nitya, or eternally changing. Gyan or wisdom too is Parinami Nitya. But this Sat cannot be Parinami in any which way. Only that which is Pratitya Samutpanna or Shunya can be Parinami or eternally changing. Now Atma or unchanging self, the Sakshi or witness that knows everything, Brahma, etc. are Aparinami, which means the same as remaining unchanging and permanent. There is a problem with this view. If this knower remains unchanging, then how can it know? Knowing is a process. Process itself implies change. How can there be a process without change? How can there be a vyapar or function without change? How can an Atma, Drashta, Shakshi that remains unchanging, permanent and eternal know? As it is unchanging, how can it know? Thus, if there is such a Sakshi or witness, it is an unconscious witness, because it is unchanging. And if we still want to insist that this Sakshi does know, then it would know the same object permanently and eternally, because it cannot change.
बौद्ध धर्ममा त्यो परमार्थ सत्य होइन। के परमार्थ सत्य हो? हैन, त्यो पनि शून्य हो भने चिन्नु र त्योभन्दा पनि गहिरो अभ्यासहरू छन्, गहिरो विपसनाहरू छन्।
But this witness or knower is not the ultimate truth in Buddha Dharma. What is the ultimate truth? It is recognizing that this Sakshi or witness is also Shunya. There are even more profound practices and vipassana than this in Buddha Dharma, but since we are only talking about Shunyata here, I am only referring to this much. It is wrong to claim that the ultimate truth of Shunyata is the same as that of the Brahma. What actually happened is that after the 3rd century, the Hindus slowly started believing that whatever vidyas or knowledge and wisdom exist anywhere in the world, they came out of the Vedas and are in alignment with them. Such claims are a result of this misconception among the Hindus. There are even writings from the 3rd century which, taking the Bharar Sutta as an example, claim that Bhagwan Buddha actually taught Atma in that sutta. They misinterpret his teachings in the sutta, saying, see, there is someone who is carrying the burdens that are described there. This was actually written by the author of the Kama Sutra, who was a great Pandit of his time. Since then, and until the time of Vivekananda, Hindus have this delusion that all vidyas, or knowledge and wisdom, came out of the Vedas, and that thus, everyone has just taught the Vedas, or that all teachings came out of them. But in fact, it is the opposite. The Vedas or the Vedic tradition, which later became known as the Hindu tradition, started picking up and gathering views from many other sources. And because of this, it can appear that they have similarities with these various other traditions. However, the views are not the same, because they altered and misinterpreted them to fit their own philosophy. Because of this, the words you find in Buddha Dharma, in Jainism, and even Christianity can be found in Hinduism, but their meanings are different. Here is an example of the extent to which this was happening.
19औं शताब्दीमा स्वामी दयानन्दको कथा छ। दयानन्द सरस्वती आर्य समाजको संस्थापक
There is a story from the 19th century of Swami Dayananda Saraswati, the founder of Arya Samaj. Since his interpretation of the Vedas was not in agreement with the other Pandits in Kashi, he challenged them to a debate in the presence of the king of Kashi. There is an interesting point to note here. Dayananda asserted that the Pandits have already corrupted the Vedas from what was originally written and modified them. An example given was that of the Alopanishad. Even the Allah had been made into an Upanishad called the Alopanishad. The Pandits of Kashi at that time could not refute his assertions, which means that at that time such a text must have existed. It was removed subsequently because we usually do not hear of this text today. In a similar way, the Hindu tradition co-opted the Buddha's teaching by manipulating the words and making it seem like it aligns with the view of Atma. They co-opted Mahavir's, the proponent of Jainism's teachings as well.
तर अझ पनि जति मिलाए पनि आत्मावादी हो, अनात्मावादी होइन। शून्यता त आत्मावादी होइन, अनात्मावादी हो। हैन, अनात्माको अलिकति गहिरो अर्थ हो शून्यता भनेको।
But no matter how much they try to manipulate the words, their view is that of Atma, not of Anatma, whereas Shunyata is the view of Anatma and not of Atma. Shunyata has a bit of a deeper meaning than Anatma. In Hindu Vedanta, Atma is the self, and the outer experiences or phenomena are Anatma. Even in their contemplations, the view that they hold is that the outer phenomena is not Atma, but that the knower of this outer phenomena is Atma. However, when we use the word Atma in Buddha Dharma, it refers to the knower since it is considered to be an unchanging and really existing entity, and it also refers to the outer phenomena because no matter what the Vedanta claims, an average person will experience this pillar, this house, and this table here as really existing. Thus, just as there is an imputation of a really existing entity onto the self, there is also an imputation of a really existing entity onto the outer phenomena. That imputation of really existing entity is known as Atma in the Buddha Dharma. Imputing a really existing entity onto Sakshi or witness is Atma, but similarly, the outer phenomena is also Atma. Pudgal Atma is the imputation of a really existing entity onto the knower, and Dharma Atma is the imputation of a really existing entity onto the Dharma or outer phenomena. And the opposite of this is Pudgal Nairatmya and Dharma Nairatmya, that is, no self of knower and no self of phenomena. These two are mainly found in Mahayana, although we find that in Pali too it is said,
पालीमा पनि सब्बे धम्म अनत्ता भनेको छ। तर धम्म नैरात्म्य भन्ने कन्सेप्ट पालीमा को व्याख्या प्रणालीमा पाइँदैन।
Sabbe Dhamma Anatta, meaning all phenomena are no self. But the concept of Dharma Nairatmya is not found in the Vyakhya Pranali or hermeneutics of the Theravadi Pali tradition. Thus, Shunyata cannot in any way be Brahma or Atma.